MissChristyana, welcome.
It's been a year. Am I supposed to look at you? Or am I supposed to look at you?
So what have you been up to since last year?
Well, I'm a part of the RGME now. Yeah.
What is the regime?
The RGME is a musical collective of amazing artists who basically help each other advance.
And how did you come about being a part of the regime?
No, I started recording with Sam, and Sam was like, you know, you would be a dope regime artist. And I'm like, like I'm just not starting to get back into the music for real. He put the idea in my head, and I was like, we'll see. Huff is part of the regime, and it was cool. And he was like, no, you need to get out here and perform. You need to do da 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 da. I was like, okay. And I listened, and I performed, and I was outside performing. You told me to perform a lot too. I started getting cool with a couple members in the regime, and I just flat out asked, like, can I be a part of the regime? And Asaka was like, I don't see why not.
What have been like some performances or like that you've like really enjoyed and that you've done that you hadn't previously?
When I started performing Ready and Waiting, and I brought the chair out, every performance I had, I enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like Ready and Waiting brought me into a different space. I was trying to think who was my favorite person to have in the chair, but I ain't gonna do that to the people. I ain't gonna do.
How do you prepare before a show?
When I started booking shows further out, the way that I would prepare, I would get the dance studio, and I would link up with Courtney, and I would do my dance privates, and it was basically like stage presence type etiquette and working on getting fluid and like moving around and like trying to point people out in the crowd. So I would do that. I would also sing the songs a lot. Like that would be all that I would listen to in the car. Would be my own music to prepare. And yeah, I have a chair at home that I practice with. But yeah, I just practice. So my first highlight performance of the year, even though I've had great ones before that, but the one that like really touched my heart was when I performed at Deluxe Lux. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So like when I was performing, right, Asaka would come to the shows and he would give me constructive criticism. And one day he gave me some constructive criticism that was like needed. But you know how sometimes you need something and it just don't taste good? Like medicine. It was like that. He gave me some criticism and I was like, I thought I was doing better as an artist, but I guess not. But I took the constructive criticism and I worked on it and make it so that we don't have this type of conversation again. And I was adamant about it. And he gave me the constructive criticism one day, and then like the next day, he hit me up and was like, will you open my concert for me? What? Me? Deluxe Lux? Little on me? Absolutely.
MissChristyana. What's today?
It's concert day.
It's concert day.
And I'm so excited. I worked really hard to be here.
Yes, you did.
And I cannot wait for y'all to see because I'm coming in swinging on that little ass stage.
On that little ass stage.
My second highlight was the Willis show. Round of applause for the Willis show. But so the Willis show bar, the first time I ever went to the Willis show bar was to see a soccer perform. And that's always an experience as it is. That was my first time ever being in the venue. I had never been there before, I didn't know what it was. But it's such a cozy, warm, kind of like, it's giving jazz bar type vibes in there. And when I went in there, I was like, I had to perform here. And Sam introduced me to Tommy the first time I went to the show bar. And, I told him my information, told him my name. And, it was just nothing really came of that at that moment. So I thought, but looking back on it, I wasn't ready to do the Willis show bar yet. I went to the Willis show bar in January for the very first time. I didn't perform at the Willis show bar until December 8th. But I was not ready. I had to go through all of those performances I went through to get to the Willis show bar. and I wouldn't change it at all. And like doing the deluxe show was my first like, yeah, like I did it. Like, you know, the other showcases was cool. You know, I knew I was doing a good job, or I knew I was getting better rather. But when I did the deluxe thing, I was kind of like, okay. And also with performing, I started performing in smaller venues, not as nice venues. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the hood with it, you know, but I'm here, you know. And to end the year off, to start off kind of in the hood, you know what I'm saying? You know, turning up with the gang and them and the mom and pop places. To end the year off by doing Deluxe Lux and then doing the Willis Show Bar, it was just like, that's what happened when we dedicated.
Tell us more about the Willis Show Bar experience for you.
Let me give you a little more background. So I went there for the first time in January, and then I ended up going back November maybe, and I met Tommy again. And when I met him, I was like, my name's MissChristyana, because before I was like, my name's Christiana, you know, I was real timid, I'm scared. And Sam was like, listen, when you network, you go by your stage name and you talk your talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get shy and nervous now. So when I met Tommy in November again, I was like, yeah, hi, my name is MissChristyana, I really want to perform here. He was like, we'll make it happen. I said, okay, amazing. Look forward to contacting him. Got his Instagram. He DM'd me and was like, hey, would you be open? Can you send me some of your music? I'm like, okay. Luckily, I hadn't been recording all year and I got a couple songs out. So I got something to send him. So I sent him my music. And he was like, I should have known, you know, you came with Sam, so I should have known that you was going to be great. Thank you for sending me your music. How do you feel about performing December 8th? What? Actually, you know, leading up to it, I was practicing at home. It's 1920s theme, so I had to have a fringe, like he asked me to wear a flapper like dress. And you know, I was just getting in the mindset for it because I hadn't performed since October when I did Deluxe Lux. It's a 15-minute set, and as Camille mentioned, I have a lot of songs that are 1 minute, 2 minutes. I got a lot of interludes. So for me to take up 15 minutes, that's like,
oh wow.
chill on me. I, you know, arrange my set. I'm talking to people like, what song you think I should do? You know, talking to Josh, who's my manager. I'm asking him like, what song do you think? And we organize and stuff, trying to get everything together. And then the day of, I got my hair done. And the thing about the Willis Show Bar that was so special to me was it was a real full circle moment for me on my life in general. Because like, usually on my birthdays, I got the Glam Squad, Taylor, Tierra, Charlotte. They used to do my hair. You know, the first photo shoot ever I ever did, we all went and picked clothes out together. And like, it was like a thing. So for me to go to the Willis Show Bar and then have Tierra do my hair, have Taylor do my makeup, and then have Charlotte come to everybody, all three of them came to the show. And it was just like, wow, look, because we was preparing for this, like all this time. And I didn't know that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing, and I had sound check, and that was my first time ever having sound check for a performance that was for me only. Like I did sound check for the Deluxe show, but that was my first time doing sound check. Sound check for the Deluxe show, but that was my first time doing sound check in general in October. So I'm coming up, you know what I'm saying? This is my sound check. I came there early, and it was just so different seeing the Willis Show Bar with nobody in it, all the lights on, you know, the bar staff, everybody was getting ready, and I'm in there and I'm singing my songs in an establishment that I've been wanting to be at the top of the year, that I finally made before I did it in under a year. It was just a really good full circle moment for me, because although I know that I'm great, sometimes I have problems feeling like I deserve or I'm worth X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? I'm great, yeah, but like we still have issues. So like I still have that problem. So like for me to be in there, and I'm in there with like the people that own the establishment, the DJ, you know, people. And I'm not here with nobody else. This is for me. Just me and Tommy and the DJ and the people that was working there. Was just a very intimate and good experience. That sound check was. But anyway, I left. I got dressed. I come back to do the show, and people was coming in there for me. You know, I had more people at the Willis show bar than I had at probably all of my performances combined except for the first one. But it was crazy. Like, I went in, you know, Tommy was like, give me some things I can say about you. I'm like, he was like, give me something I can say about you to introduce you. I'm like, my name's Christiana. I'm a member of RGME. I opened for soccer. He was like, did you grow up in church? I was like, I mean, yeah. He goes up to introduce me. And he's like, she grew up in the church. And all of my friends like, church? But
of course, being from Detroit, you know she's influenced by the church. A lot of talent, and a lot of energy. I want to bring to the stage now, MissChristyana.
Influenced by the church?
you see, these newer friends, so they don't know. I really did grow up in church. I go up to perform, and I had on heels. And the stage is behind the bar. So before the performance, before they call me up, while you doing the introduction, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to Tori. And I'm like, I don't know how to say his friend. I don't know how I'm gonna get on stage. Because they got a little stepping stool, but it's a stepping stool with the hole in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And I got on these heels and my dress, that red dress I had on, barely covered my coochie. If it wasn't for the fringes, y'all would have saw my coochie. I digress. Anyway, I'm talking to her and I'm like, you know, I don't know how to get on stage. And the bar lady was like, the bartender was like, I'll help you. And, you know, Tommy helped me. But I walk up there and I have to tiptoe up. I got on stage. And it was just amazing from there. And prior to me getting on stage too, Lasaka had gave me some words. Because remember I told you he had been giving me critiques all year about my performance. And so he gave me some words. He was like, this is not like the other shows where you gotta try to keep the crowd engaged. Everybody's here for you. So I want you to treat it like we in your living room. And I feel like that's what I did. You know? I think that's all right. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is MissChristyana. Detroit born and raised. It was given tiny desk, you know. It was given when we here to vibe, you know. We not doing all the theatrics. I'm not doing the chair tonight. Dress too short. We're here to vibe. First song I did was Crazy, and I started off with Crazy because it's slow and it fit the moment for me.
Seen all I need to see, did all that I can do, gave you all of me, everybody has some of you.
While I was performing Crazy, my earring fell off. I had these little clamp earrings on, and I had asked 3 people to fix them before I got on stage, and one fell off. I fell down, so it looked like it was a dangle, but anyway.
Crazy how we ended up, crazy how you gave us up within, crazy how you're not enough for you, crazy how you're not enough with me, crazy how we ended up, crazy how you gave us up within, crazy how you're not enough for you, crazy how you're not enough with me. Crazy how we ended up.
album called Cut You Loose. And I felt like
I heard that.
I'm not scared to cut you loose.
Think about it, doing everything I like it for. Vision getting clearer, blood's burning, tunnel. Body getting thicker, mindset shifting. Only thing I welcome is with money and the feeling side. Keep my circle kind of tight, only ride for those who no time, but I keep a shooter by my side. Good time, who you think they talking to? Goodbye, I'm not scared to cut you loose.
Look, usually I don't do this, but
I'm not scared at all. Make up your mind, you my friend, you my enemy. I couldn't lose, don't be no man, I can't depend on me.
bigger, better, doing everything I like it some. Vision getting clearer, cause currently tunnel. Body getting thicker, mindset shifted.
Nope.
Well, that's
Okay.
amazing because the album needs to be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell a story. I never want to do something that's jumbled up. Like I want to tell a story. So crazy that we here where we at, but I'm not scared to cut you loose. I will cut you off. And so then I performed Cut You Loose, and that was my first time performing that song ever. And because it's new, it's on the album, it's not out yet. And it was perfect for the event. The flapper dress, like I was moving around and swaying and like vibing, and they was vibing with me.
Hey, I'm not scared to cut you loose.
After I did Cut You Loose, I did Who. Now I really want to kind of like segue on Who, because who embodies that whole speaking up for yourself thing. It's like, who are you talking to? Who are you playing with? All the way up until then, I didn't have a call and response type of song. So Who was that moment for me?
Y'all ready? Hey, who is you talking to? Who is you playing with? What did you say it then? Let's not be the fit. Yeah. Come on, say that shit. Who is you talking to? Who is you playing with? What? Let's not be the fit. Crazy at your big age, moving sideways with me. Hey, you lucky I play it safe.
And that was the first time I've ever had a moment like that, where I was like, hey, I need y'all to help me do da 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 da. Say this to me when I do this. And when I tell you that crowd ate that part up, like,
I don't want to do it again with y'all, so acapella. Y'all ready? Hey, who is you talking to? Who is you playing with? What would you do it then? Let's not plead the fifth, yeah. Come on, say that shit. Who is you talking to? Who is you playing with? What would you do it then? Let's not plead the fifth, yeah. Come on, say that shit. Y'all ain't that song up.
having a crowd of people who half of them don't know you, and they like, ooh, what? Like, amazing.
They're engaged.
They're engaged.
You captured them enough to make them want to join in.
And I didn't have to straddle nobody in no chair to do it. After I did Who, I tap back into the 2 singles that I already have out. Drea was not able to make it to do Never with me. She was doing a podcast that night, so I did a shortened version of Never, and it was just a good experience because I was vibing, like I was having a good time.
I got no dance move. When she hate fuck you dead at the door. When she hate fuck you dead. When she hate fuck you dead. When she. Y'all ready? Sing that for me. I know y'all know. Hold up. Why she put your phone up? Put it on TV. Put your phone on me. Take your sense up, let me see. See that like you still. I'm a boy, so what's the tea? What's the tea? You don't even know what you even know. Try to change your life with a temper. You gon' learn some love. Kiss your ass, that's tough. You gon' change your mind.
Enjoying myself up there. I wasn't overthinking it. I wasn't worried about if, am I doing too much? Am I doing enough? Like, I was acting like they was in my living room. I closed it with Ready and Waiting.
So I hate to do this to y'all. This is my last song.
Encore.
I done kept y'all waiting long enough, and I know y'all ready.
And I'm gonna be honest, Ready and Waiting gave me a little bit of anxiety to do, because although that is my favorite song to perform, I have crafted a performance for that song with a chair, with a person. And I felt like that kept people engaged. It also kept me outside of my head, like a little bit when I do that. So because I got so used to the chair, it's like, and then honestly for the deluxe performance, I was not supposed to do a chair. I wasn't going to do a chair because of how small the stage was. But we realized, because the performance I did before deluxe, the stage was even smaller, and I put a chair up there. Once I did that, he was like, okay, you can go ahead and have a chair, because you can do chair on, it don't matter what size the stage is, you can do the chair. But at the Willis show bar, it just didn't seem appropriate to me. And the stage was small. They had a whole drum set on stage, and they have a wired mic. So I didn't do the chair. I did it without.
No cheer tonight. Close the door, baby. Let me talk to you. I'ma get this straight off. I got something for you. Know you had a long day. That's why I came all this way for you. Know I got the full mate. Everything you like, see it. Go and play a game, babe. Be right. Ready, waiting. I'm never waiting. You got something. I know why you called me. I know why I came. Once you walked in, babe. You're waiting. I'm not waiting. You got something. I don't mind, 'cause you do it real good. Oh, take your time. Ready and waiting.
And I just feel like that also stretched me as an artist too. And I had a fantastic time. And when it was over, I was just like, wow, you did it. You did the Willis show live in under a year. And I'm excited to see what you do next. And so that's that. It was a great bow to put on the end of the year for me. As an artist, as a person, to help my self-esteem, to help my, tenacity. It was just overall, that was that moment for me.
Anything else to say to the fans before you go?
Yeah, anybody that has supported me this year, played my song, told somebody about me, double tapped one of my posts on Instagram, came to a show, said something to me in my DMs, texted me. I mean, anybody that has supported in any way, it is noticed. I appreciate it. It is not going unnoticed. It is helping me to continue on because I still do have days sometimes where I be like, you know what? I don't feel like it. And then somebody will post, your song was the #1 song for my year rollout. I'd be like, you know what? Gotta keep going. Gotta keep going.
The people need me.
The people need me. So I just want to say thank y'all so much. And I'm looking forward to what all we do next year.